Hi friends, I hope you're doing well today. I'm not one to typically jump on the bandwagon on something, but I think in these times right now, we need to do what we can do to help others. And this is something that I just wanted to share with you that's been really successful for us. I was able to find a pattern for one of the masks for the medical system that was approved by a hospital to be able to be used with their paper masks. And so I want to show you today, just real quickly, how you can put one of these together. The pattern is linked to the video, so you'd be able to get that if you would like to do it. I actually had my 9-year-old and 7-year-old grandchildren in here yesterday, taught them how to sew, which was absolutely wonderful. And by the end of the day, they were making these masks themselves. So it's something anybody can do. To get started, the first thing that you're going to need is fabric, of course. A quarter of a yard of fabric will make 2 of them. And so if you've got some scraps out there, I recommend using them up with that. I've got some drawn out here. I've chosen to use muslin as the inner part of the mask, just that goes up to the face. And so I've got some of those also cut out. Now, when you get the pattern, what I would recommend that you do, if you have like a piece of cardboard or say even cardstock available, just cut a piece out like this. I've got 3 different pieces, and that way you don't actually have to pin a pattern to the fabric in order to do it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your fabric. I've got this right sides together, and I've already got it put together like this. This is just a little piece of green. I laid my pieces on here, and you can see how many times I've drawn around this. Now, you can either use a water-soluble quilters pen, or I actually even just used a Sharpie marker yesterday, and draw around the outside edges of your pieces. And then once you get these all drawn out, I just took a pin and pinned the 2 pieces together, so when you cut them out, your pieces stay together. This is super simple. And like I said, even my grandkids, my 7-year-old granddaughter was cutting these out yesterday. So you can see that I've got several of them ready to go out of the muslin. You can draw them out ahead of time if you want your kids to help you. And you're going to go ahead then and get these pieces cut out. Now, I'm going to skip past this. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take, this is the little lining piece, and you're simply going to iron under approximately a quarter, even a ½ inch is fine, on each side. I just kind of do like this and get those ironed under. You're also going to take your muslin pieces that you're going to get cut out, and you're going to do the same thing. Of course, you want to have a nice iron available, and I'm kind of a fanatic about ironing after each step, and so just have your iron ready and available. This piece I'm actually going to pin together because I'm going to have to stitch it along the curved edge. And the next step, I'm going to take you over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to show you just how simple it is to put one of these together. Okay, now we're at the sewing machine, and yesterday I had a lot of these cut out, and so you can kind of do these steps in succession. I'm just going to show you one right now, but just keep in mind, the more you have, the more you can keep going through your machine, and you can kind of mass produce these. I'm using a 1/4 inch seam, and you're going to want to sew the curved edge of your larger piece. Like I said, I just did these in succession. You can just keep on it going. This is my muslin piece, that is my lining piece. Then I go right into top stitching these pieces that we've ironed down. wants to be difficult sometimes. There we go. And I actually bring this piece back, took the pin out, and just continued with the ironed edge of the muslin, running it right through. Once you get all these pieces stitched, what you're going to do is just clip them together. Now I'm going to take you back over to the ironing table, and I'm going to show you how you put this together real quickly. Okay, now that we have the pieces all put together, we're just simply going to clip them apart. And I'm going to show you how to put these all together. Just as a little side note, one of the reasons I got started making these, I like to press as I go just because I think it's just makes it a little bit nicer. One of the reasons I got started making these is my daughter, who is a physical therapist, she is in the medical system, and they needed some. And my mother lives in assisted living, and they need some in their facility. So, okay, we've got our pieces. I also want to show you here that you can see how these two pieces are going to go together, okay? So just kind of pay attention to that. This is actually where the nose is going to kind of fit in. So you want to make sure you get this put in correctly. Now, what you're going to do with your muslin piece is turn it right side out. I'm going to get this snipped apart. Open up your larger piece here and simply insert this right into the larger piece. Take a pin, and I match up the seams. I do one seam going one way and one going the other way, which makes it lay down real nicely. Flip it around. Do the same thing. Then what I do is lay it flat. Okay. Kind of poke that right down into the center so you can see it here. Take your pieces that you turned over and lay that simply right over the top, and just I usually put about 3 pins, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. And what we're actually doing is we're creating a pocket to actually put one of either this type of a mask or the paper masks that you can get when you walk into a clinic or whatever. You can insert one of those inside of this and then actually reuse them. So I'm going to take this back to the sewing machine, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to put this together. We're back at the machine. Keep in mind, again, you're going to use a 1/4 inch seam. And we are just going to stitch around this entire piece. Now, when I get to these pieces right here that are going to take a little bit more wear and tear with putting the paper mask in, is I just simply back stitched over that to reinforce it. When I come to this seam, I drop my needle, just turn it slightly, and continue on. Back stitch over these areas, just for reinforcement. If you need an activity with your kids or something, this is a great project to do together. And we've just got one of these almost completely done. When I get to the end, I just simply go past my initial stitching and tie it off. Now, when you get this all done, what I recommend is to clip your corners. Simply clip to your stitching line, clip your excess little ear or tags off of your edges there. Take your pins out. Basically, all you do is stick your thumbs down into the end, poke your seams out, go all the way through the lining of the mask, poke it through, and turn it out. Now I will take this over to my ironing board and I will press it all nicely. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you how you put the closures on the end. Okay, we're back at my ironing surface and I'm going to press my seams. I just try to get them right to the edge here. Even this process, if your kids are age appropriate to use an iron, this one's a little bit big for them, but a little bit smaller iron would be good. They can help you in the pressing process. We're going to get this all pressed. And you can see what it looks like here. Now the next thing I do, they recommend that you just simply use hair ties. And so you can get a small package like this. I actually picked these up just at our local little discount store. It takes two hair ties. You put one at the end. Just kind of string that through, and I turn it over about 1/2 inch. Yeah, about 1/2 inch, and I actually pin it on the top side. Do the same on the other end. And you'll top stitch that. Keep in mind to maybe back stitch here just to secure it so it doesn't come loose, or you can even double stitch that. And when you get it all done, it's going to look like this. This is how you actually put it around your ears. Now, the paper mask will insert right into the back. The neat thing about it is once you get the mask inserted, and the smaller masks that they have as well are good, but once you get the mask inserted, the clip at the top of the paper mask will actually, and I'm just gonna put this on, it will actually mold over your nose. The hair ties go over your ears, and you clip this down and it seals to your nose. I hope you've enjoyed our tutorial today on these masks. Yesterday, I think we put together 15 or 20 of them. They just go together so quickly. It's a way that you can help your local community. I know it's a way that I'm going to help out my family as well as the community. I will also say this, if you need fabric, please reach out to me. I mean, we have the resources with lots and lots of fabric here. I never in my wildest dreams thought that the Henry glass fabrics that my daughter and I design would be used in this way, but it makes us feel good to know that we are helping in the way that we are. So we hope you're healthy, staying safe, and we hope that this video helps you out in big ways.